In February of this year, we decided to take the Social Justice Teen Fellowship, which is a partnership between the Baltimore Jewish Council and the Elijah Cummings Youth Program, on a civil rights trip to the American South. We wanted our fellows to have the opportunity to explore living history, hear from the elders who were there.
You know, it was all in the open how they did blacks during that time.
And to take what they learn and experience and apply it to their futures as leaders in a complex world.
What was it like having to face and retell your story to the 4 men who had killed your sister and your friends as well in court?
I felt real funny because I wasn't yet here yet. I was just kind of still nervous when I went up there and testified about it. It been such a long time, and like I say, God healed me now. I can really talk about it now, but I just couldn't do it then. People was killed, people was injured, they was bit by German Shepherd dogs, just for the rights that we have now. So y'all young people, don't take it for granted.
This program, the Social Justice Teen Fellowship Program, in partnership with the Elijah Cummings Youth Program, gives students an opportunity, one, to have Black and Jewish teens in the same room together, to learn about each other, to have tough conversations with one another.
But that was the way it was. That's what we were born into. You people are not going to live like that.
It was important to get this group of Black and Jewish teens together to learn about the story of the civil rights movement in the South, so that they could really learn how to be bridge builders between their communities as they continue to grow and become leaders, because they're our future. It also was important for them to have an understanding, because so much of the focus of ECYP is on the Jewish experience, to have perspective on the Black experience in this country, and to learn about what their peers and their ancestors have gone through.
This is the home where Dr. King grew up in, and this is the neighborhood that he grew up in. Now, the reason I tell you these stories is because it's important for us to remember that while Dr. King is this epic hero in our nation's history, he was also a very real person.
It's really amazing to see a young person experience history through their own eyes, and going to MLK's home, going to Birmingham and the 16th Street Church, going to the Equal Justice Museum in Montgomery.
For the rest of this afternoon, we are going to be focusing on this moment here in Montgomery that really kicks off the civil rights movement, which is the Montgomery bus boycott and what happened around those events.
Fortunately, the young people, y'all are hopefully getting a better education. It seems that you are, but for a long time, this was the story that was told in the United States, was that Rosa Parks was just this old woman who was too tired to get up.
Watching students observe history, watching their pain in many ways, to hear the trauma of their ancestors, to hear from their friends as we explored the Jewish allyship and hearing stories of how Jewish community members were also killed. It's an important story for students to reflect upon and think about. In Selma, students met with Barbara, who was a teenager during Bloody Sunday. And it was really important that they got to meet with someone who was their age at the time during the civil rights movement, who made some choices and decisions and talked about being in the classroom with her friends, and would they march.
Now, for a minute, that didn't resonate with me, but the longer we talked about it, he said, you cannot leave. So I did what all children do. I'm out. She came to the porch. She was pleading with them, let my child pass. She needs to go to bed. They just stood there.
And our students getting to internalize, what would I have done? Would I have gone out and marched? And then they got to walk across the bridge and in many ways think about Barbara and think about themselves and think about all the civil rights leaders who marched across that bridge. So they really got to immerse themselves in these experiences, but hear the voices of the people who lived through those moments in time.
What specifically do you think all of us doing would be the most impactful for sharing your story, sharing the story of civil rights, but also like uniting our communities together?
And the church representative got up on the bus, and we said, "What are they doing?" And he said, "We've never seen a live black. We've only seen blacks on TV. And they want to know if the color were above."
I know this trip was successful because our teens walked away not only having built relationships with each other and having a better understanding of each other's communities, but because I was able to see them bond and reflect with each other on such painful parts of history that they will be able to be effective change makers moving forward and really understand how to have empathy and compassion for people who have a different story than they do.